A Core 2 Duo with an 8400GS and 2 gigs of RAM. How well can it game? Keep watching and we will find out. First we have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. For reference, this game was released back in 2005, and here on highest settings, VSync, frame limiter with off, and the highest resolution, which is 1024 into 768. The game generally orbits around 50 frames per second. It's 50 frames per second is the average, and it is buttery smooth on this PC, and it's quite enjoyable too. And second is the glorious Counter-Strike Condition Zero. This game, I think this PC is purely made for this game, on the highest settings, everything on the highest audio and everything. The game generally orbits around 90 frames per second on an average and barely gets below 50 frames per second. That's great, and I really enjoy it playing on this PC. Back in 2008, a parkour game was created by EA Sports, and that was The Mirror's Edge. This game particularly is very nice, and here on this PC, on the lowest settings, on the lowest resolution, it is not bad actually. The graphics do look very nice, and the frames generally are above 40, and it's pretty nice. But the problem occurs when there is a lot of action and people are shooting at you, and the glass walls are breaking. Then the frames tend to break around 20 to 23 frames.
Shitload of booze in the plaza. Go higher and get yourself out of there.
Now there are things bit different here. Far Cry 3 is running on the lowest settings, but I had to do a little bit of changes in the game settings, which are to be done from the XML documents located in the documents folder, and the resolution is 640 by 480. And the game generally tops around about 25 frames per second, and orbits around at playable but certainly not that enjoyable 26 to 28 frames per second, though it is quite nice considering the hardware of this PC. The game runs quite nice. Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 version is quite a nice title and is quite demanding as well. Even it is 2018, even then it is quite a demanding title. The graphics are very nice, the resolution for PCs is quite nice, and the gameplay too is quite nice. And here the frames generally orbit around 30 frames per second and go as high as 33 or 34 depending on the situation is. And the game runs very nice on this PC on the highest settings, highest resolution, VSync on, and whatever. On the highest resolution and the lowest textures and settings, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 also runs great on this PC. The frames generally orbit around 40 to 35 to 40 frames per second, go as high as 65 frames per second, and as low as 20 to 25 frames per second. It's quite nice. And the final game of our test is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. On the lowest graphics, resolution and everything, the game really tops out at around 40 to 50 frames per second and orbits around 30 to 35 on the most situations. And the maps like Dust 2, it becomes a bit worse, but not much. And in my opinion, a hardcore CSGO gamer would play it on this PC.
Go, my brothers. Decoy. Three mercenaries left. One man left. You got
That was the test, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and take a look at my other videos. For now, the Insane Gamer is signing out. Bye bye.